hello everyone. Welcome to Rasayan Academy, all of you. So in this particular video, we are going to be discussing some really important and confusing topics of bioinorganic chemistry again. So I just hope that you are loving this series because I have discussed all of these topics in detail, which are relevant to your CSI NET and GATE examination, and the questions are asked very directly. Okay. So another such topic is nitrogen fixation. All right, guys, very important topic, nitrogen fixation. So first of all, we will talk about this nitrogen fixation, what is biological and non-biological nitrogen fixation. Then we move onwards and we also talk about photosynthesis. All right. And then we are going to talk about the metals that are used in medicine or metals which are biologically important. Okay. And after that, we are going to have a lot of practice on the bioinorganic chemistry. Now, if you must have already seen my playlist, 500 most important questions, there also I have put a specific video on the bioinorganic, right? So there also you can check out more and more questions. Okay. And also, guys, if you are liking my content, please don't forget to download the Rasayan Academy app and join the complete courses on CSI, NET and GATE. I am 100% sure you're going to like the content and everything. So yeah, let's move onwards. Nitrogen fixation over here. So first thing, nitrogen is an essential element contained in many biomolecules, as you already know. It is very, very important. Along with carbon, oxygen, nitrogen forms the building blocks of our existence and is therefore necessary for growth and development of the plant as well. So because we are going to consume the plants, so we need the nitrogen in the plants, right? It is a major constituent of chlorophyll, a vital component in the amino acid, also present in other vital biomolecules such as ATP and nucleic acid. Okay? All these things, nitrogen is very important. Ab dekho, the high energy of lightning. See how we actually get the nitrogen in the soil that, where we want it. So the high energy of lightning, when there is lightning and thunder, breaks the nitrogen molecule apart in the atmosphere and the nitrogen atom combine oxygen, forming the nitrogen oxides. So in the atmosphere, nitrogen is now converted to nitrogen oxides because of the lightning and thunder. These oxides of nitrogen, they dissolve in rainwater, forming the nitrates and are carried to the ground with the rain, and then plants use the nitrates to grow. So this is how the nitrogen from the atmosphere is fixated into the soil. So this is a natural process. ये natural process है कि atmospheric nitrogen कैसे fix होता है. Okay. सेकेंडली व्हाट वी डू इज, ये देखो ये वाला मैंने डायग्राम में दिखाया है, नॉन बायोलॉजिकल नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन. इट्स लाइक इनऑर्गेनिक नाइट्रोजन बीइंग फिक्स, इसीलिए नॉन बायोलॉजिकल. सो एटमॉस्फेरिक फिक्सेशन इज 5 to 8% of the total nitrogen that we have in the soil. ठीक है. Lightning fixes nitrogen. By lightning, nitrogen molecule break down and react with oxygen to form the nitric oxides or nitrogen dioxides. These are mostly formed. Now they are going to react with water and form the nitrates which are necessary. All right. So this is just shown diagrammatically. Another non-biological fixation or inorganic fixation is using the Haber-Bosch process. And you have already studied this in your very basic classes, right? How to form ammonia industrially. Nitrogen and hydrogen, they combine to give you only 20% conversion and give you ammonia. So the ammonia which is thus produced can be used directly as a fertilizer, but most of it is further processed to urea and ammonium nitrate, which are easily taken up by the soil. Okay, so that is again how nitrogen is being given to the soil. ये हो गया हमारा industrial fixation. All right, ammonia बना के used as a fertilizer in the soil. These were non-biological nitrogen fixation that actually correspond to a very little percentage of nitrogen in the soil. बाकी का नाइट्रोजन कहाँ से आता है वो देखते हैं. Biological nitrogen fixation. Biological nitrogen fixation plays an essential part in providing nitrogen for other forms of life on Earth, since it contributes about 60% of the total nitrogen fixed in the biogeochemical nitrogen cycle. So you see that the nitrogen which is getting fixed into the soil, 60% of it is done by the biological nitrogen fixation. कैसे कौन करता है देखो, asymbiotic bacteria or free living bacteria that fixes 30% of the nitrogen. Okay, for example, इनके example याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है because in the examination they may be asked directly. Example, cyanobacteria, or also known as the blue-green bacteria or blue-green algae because of its color, and Azotobacter Bejernica, I don't know what this is called, Clostridium, because I'm not a bio student, so I'm also new to all these names. But just make notes of this so that just in case they are asked, you will be able to answer. So this is in the category of asymbiotic bacteria. Next is the symbiotic bacteria, which actually coexist within other species and also, fix the nitrogen in the soil also. So symbiotic bacteria fixes 70% of the nitrogen and live in a symbiotic relationship with plants of the legume family. This is the most important one and यही सबसे ज़्यादा पूछा जाता है. Okay, because they live in a symbiotic relation. What is symbiotic? That this is going to benefit both the host and the guest. That is symbiotic. So legume family, you know what are legumes? There are leguminous plants which actually make the soil richer because of the nitrogen fixation that they are able to do. क्यों कर पाते हैं? Because जो legumes होते हैं, जो nodes होते हैं, they actually contain this bacteria, rhizomium in the alfalfa and in the soybeans. So these are just two examples that I've taken. There are more. So symbiotic bacteria के मैंने दो ही example लिए हैं. These actually help in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil through the biological process. Okay, चलो अब कुछ examples हम ये reactions देखते हैं that while the nitrogenase the catalysis is done, तो ये कैसे reduce करता है? Nitrogenase catalyzes the reduction of dinitrogen to ammonia. Alright, how does it do that? Biologically, ये देखो, one nitrogen molecule takes 8 electrons and 8 protons and 16 mg ATP. That gives you 1 ammonia, 2 hydrogen, 16 mg ADP and 1 phosphate ion. So, there has been a question which was asking in the previous years, how many number of electrons are used to reduce the nitrogen into ammonia biologically? 8 electrons are required. This is the overall equation and you definitely have to remember it. No other option. You have to remember it. Okay. Chalo. All the nitrogenases consist of two subunits. Nitrogenase is the enzyme that is actually responsible for doing the fixation because यही तो कर रहा है, nitrogen से ammonia में convert कर रहा है. That is how you fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the in a compound which can be utilized by soil. So the structure of nitrogenases, that is what we are going to focus on over here. अब देखो reaction हमने देख लिया, examples देख लिए, अब आते हैं structure पे. There are two subunits popularly known as the M cluster and the P cluster. Okay, we will see both of them. I hope that you remember the ferredoxins. Ferredoxin का क्या structure होता था? It is going to help you in understanding these also. So it is iron molybdenum cofactor, the M cluster, and it contains iron, sulfur and molybdenum. The P cluster contains only iron and sulfur. Okay, just like in ferredoxin. But these are what? These are complex ferredoxin type of structure. Okay. According to modern view, the M cluster is involved in the reduction of dinitrogen to ammonia because जो M cluster में molybdenum होता है वहीं पे nitrogen connect होता है like this. And that is the site where nitrogen connects and is reduced and like that. The iron centers at the middle are involved in the binding of dinitrogen. So let's see the P and the M cluster. ये देखो, nitrogenase MOFE protein P cluster. So this is how the P cluster is going to look like. This is the P cluster where it is only iron and sulfur. So you see guys, it is a complex ferredoxin type of a structure क्योंकि यहाँ पे क्या है? there is only iron and sulfur involved, both the organic as well as the inorganic sulfur. This is a cysteine sulfur, this is another cysteine sulfur, ये भी cysteine sulfur है, ये भी cysteine sulfur है, this again cysteine, and this is oxygen of the serine, and rest of the sulfurs in the cube, these are inorganic sulfur. Fe8S8 मॉडल, ये क्या है, ये complex ferredoxin type structure है. Okay, I've also shown you a chart कि how many iron sulfur proteins are present in the previous video. वहाँ पे भी लिखा था complex ferredoxin type. Now we move onwards and we see, this structure is written in many different ways in different books, but simply इसको हम ऐसे देख सकते हैं. You don't have to remember each and everything. You just remember that the structure of the M cluster has molybdenum, and molybdenum is the site where the nitrogen is going to be reacting, and the P cluster is going to provide the electrons, क्योंकि ये ferredoxin type structure है, electron provide करेगा, and here is where the actual action takes place. Okay, so there are two clusters, P and M clusters, just remember that. Now here I've taken many examples, because examples are very important. You will not get any of these examples, so many examples anywhere else. So I've taken all of them examples for biological nitrogen fixation. ठीक है, मतलब कि the examples of different bacteria. See, we are having the crop alfalfa, उसका जो nodulating bacteria है, bacteria which is present in the roots. ठीक है, this is the plant and there are going to be roots. Roots के अंदर nodules बने हुए होते हैं इस तरीके से. Nodules are basically clusters. So these clusters actually are the bags where the bacteria is present, and here exactly यहाँ से वो हो रहा है nitrogen fixation in these nodules, and it is providing this to the soil directly. So Sinorhizobium meliloti, so ये अल्फा अल्फा में प्रेजेंट है. हमारा सबसे पॉपुलर जो हम पढ़ते हैं which is asked is the beans, because the legumes and the beans that is containing rhizobium, rhizobacter बोलते हैं, rhizobium बोलते हैं, of different categories, but rhizobium is a common name. Just remember that, okay? और पूरा नाम आपको याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, just remember rhizobium of beans and legumes. क्लोवर में भी राइजोबियम ही यूज होता है, and it's the same rhizobium, just a little bit difference, that depends on the structure and everything. लोटस में भी है मेसोराइजोबियम लोटी. पीज में भी है राइजोबियम लेग्यूमिनोसारम बायोवार. दिस इज वेसे, आई थिंक. Okay, so Rhizobium leguminosaurum, this means that it's a rhizobium bacteria and it is present in the leguminous plants which are actually having nodes. तो ये एक ही कैटेगरी चल रही है, देखो सेम कैटेगरी चल रही है, बस नाम यहाँ पे अलग है because of the different species that we have. Same category. Also present in soybean, also present in Sesbania. All right. तो ये जो है आपको, even if you don't remember the bacteria name, at least remember where the leguminous, what are the leguminous plants where the nodulating bacteria is present, just in the case a question is asked. Okay, this is basic knowledge. अब हम आगे चलेंगे guys, and we are going to move onwards to the most important thing, that is the photosystem. As you can see, I have tried to cover the most important parts in a very detailed manner, giving you a pictorial representation ताकि और थोड़ा अच्छे से समझ में आ जाए. So guys, first of all, there are two types of photosystem. Photosynthesis समझने से पहले just understand that there are two photosystems और दोनों का अलग अलग रोल है, ठीक है, in doing the reaction that we have. Photosynthesis में क्या होता है, you have carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, you have sun, you have water, it's going to form glucose, and as a byproduct it's going to give out oxygen. Okay, so let's see how that is done. Now firstly we will understand what is a photosystem. देखो plants की थोड़े से technical terminology आने वाली है. Photosystem 1 is a light-driven plastocyanin ferredoxin. Because what is a plastocyanin? You have already studied that in one of the videos. Plastocyanin is another blue copper protein. कॉपर प्रोटीन है जो कि इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसफर करने में हेल्प करता है. Ferredoxin is again iron sulfur protein doing the same thing. Oxidoreductase enzyme present in the thylakoid membranes of क्लोरोप्लास्ट एंड साइनोबैक्टीरिया. सो थाइलाकॉइड मेम्ब्रेन, इन ये जो मेम्ब्रेन है जहां पे ये है, जहां पे हो रहा है फोटोसिंथेसिस, दैट इज नोन एज द थाइलाकॉइड मेम्ब्रेन ऑफ these species, either cyanobacteria and chloroplast of plants. ठीक है, so these are the species where photosynthesis happens. Now it is an extremely efficient biosolar energy converter. Extremely efficient बायो एनर्जी है, सोलर एनर्जी, उसको कन्वर्ट कर रहा है इनटू केमिकल एनर्जी, कैप्चरिंग द एनर्जी फ्रॉम द सन एंड कन्वर्टिंग इनटू इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी थ्रू अ लाइट ड्रिवन चार्ज सेपरेशन अलोंग द मेम्ब्रेन दैट इज टेकिंग प्लेस बिकॉज ऑफ अ केमिकल रिएक्शन. सो वेरी वेरी ब्यूटिफुल प्रोसेस फोटोसिंथेसिस इज. अब देखते हैं क्या हो रहा है. दो सिस्टम, एज आई टोल्ड यू, द फोटो सिस्टम कंटेन्स क्लोरोफिल ए मॉलिक्यूल, जहां जिसको P700 बोलते हैं बिकॉज दे आर गोइंग टू अब्सॉर्ब अ लाइट ऑफ 700 नैनोमीटर वेवलेंथ. दैट्स व्हाई द नेम P700 or photosystem 1. Now we will see how the photosystem 1 is working. The first thing that is happening is excitation of electron in the photosystem 1. So what is happening is, पहले सबसे पहले electron excitation हो रहा है. Photo excited electron enter photosystem 1 via electron transport chain set in the thylakoid membrane, where it waits until the electron is excited by another photon. So ये देखो what is happening. This is your photosystem 1. Alright, thylakoid membrane, photosystem 1. प्लास्टोसाइनिन से एक इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रेवल करके आया. दिस पिंक चेन दैट यू कैन सी इज द इलेक्ट्रॉन बीइंग ट्रांसपोर्टेड. सो प्लास्टोसाइनिन से होते हुए आया फोटोसिस्टम 1 में, एंड देन इट इज गोइंग टू वेट अंटिल देयर इज मोर एनर्जी, मोर फोटॉन्स which are exciting this electron. After the electron excitation, it is going to go on to the iron sulfur ferredoxin. देखो, chemi osmosis. The energy fall is harnessed to transport hydrogen H plus through the membrane into the thylakoid lumen to generate ATP. अब ये जो electron excited है, what is it going to do? It is going to give off the energy. That energy is taken up. That energy is taken up by NAD plus to take a proton from the system to become NADPH. This is going to be taken to the Kelvin cycle. What is the Kelvin cycle? जो reaction हो रहा है वो Kelvin cycle है. ठीक है. So who is carrying the energy? The electron is actually carrying the energy of the sun. Electron is carrying the energy along with it. Okay. Third, conversion of NADP plus to NADPH. The excited electron in photosystem 1 oxidizes which will be needed in the Kelvin cycle. So basically photosystem 1 का काम यही है. It is going to absorb the energy at 700 nanometer. Alright, who is going to absorb this photosystem 1, where an electron is being transported. That electron takes up the energy and moves onward to the ferredoxin. Electron transport होता है, finally NADP को एक proton provide करता है. That is the only job of photosystem 1, to provide that proton to NADP positive to form the NADPH. Now we move onwards and see what happens to the NADPH. ये देखो. So एक बार ये देख लेते हैं what is the photosystem 1. This is the thylakoid. This is the basically how the reaction is taking place, where it is taking place, the reaction site. ये आपका outer membrane है, ये inner membrane है. Alright, this is known as the stroma, this liquid over here, and these are the granums where the reaction site is present. और ये जो है, this itself, that is the thylakoid, alright, of the chloroplast. यहाँ पे reaction हो रहा है. This is the photosystem 1 where the light is being absorbed. Okay, so light आई, conversion of NADP to NADPH utilizing energy is done. Now that NADPH is going to be used into the Kelvin cycle. फिर से कन्वर्ट होके NADP पॉजिटिव बन के आ गया, अगेन लाइट आई, अगेन इट इज गोइंग टू इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ वाटर, अगेन इट इज गोइंग टू टेक अ प्रोटॉन, अगेन do the Kelvin cycle. What is the Kelvin cycle? It is basically the conversion of carbon dioxide into sugar by going through a particular reaction. That is the Kelvin cycle. Okay, so photosystem 1, इसको हम ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं PS1. PS1 is actually in a supporting role. It is there in a supporting role which is actually doing a conversion of NADP NADP positive to NADPH. ये कर रहा है ये, ठीक है. This is what it is doing. All right. Now this is going to be used up in taking a proton into the actual Kelvin cycle. चलो. Now we move onwards and we see the photosystem 2. इसका क्या रोल है? Now photosystem 2, as you can see, the first link in the photosynthesis chain is a multi-subunit pigment protein complex which is absorbing the light. Water plastoquinone oxidoreductase इसका नाम है, embedded in the lipid environment of the thylakoid membranes of the plant, algae and cyanobacteria. Same thing. लिपिड एनवायरनमेंट जो स्ट्रोमा है जो कि थाइलेकॉइड को कवर सराउंड कर रही है, दैट इज द लिपिड एनवायरनमेंट, एंड थाइलेकॉइड मेम्ब्रेन के अंदर ही लाइट का जो एब्जॉर्प्शन होता है ऑफ प्लांट्स, algae एंड साइनोबैक्टीरिया. सेम थिंग. At the heart of photosystem is a reaction center core containing a chlorophyll A molecule P68T that is going to absorb, this photosystem 2 is going to absorb at 680 nanometer, that absorbs light at the lambda max of this. ठीक है. Driven by light, this enzyme water plastoquinone oxidoreductase, this particular enzyme catalyzes water splitting. So photosystem 2 is actually doing the water splitting by absorbing light. While doing so, it harnesses solar energy, solar irradiation to oxidize 2 molecules of water to 1 molecular oxygen, liberating electrons which reduce CO2 into organic molecules of life. Very beautiful. So ये करता क्या है देखो, in short, photosystem 2 absorbs the light of 860 nanometer. It is an enzyme water plastoquinone oxidoreductase जो क्या करता है, water को लेता है, splits it into oxygen and proton, thereby giving 2 electrons. Now these 2 electrons are being used for the reduction of CO2 into glucose. Okay. All right. So what are the steps? Let's see. Light absorption of light energy by photosystem 2. पहले light absorb किया. Electron capture, excitation of electron from a low energy state to a high energy. Definitely if the light is absorbed, it has to do something to electron excite होता है. The electron travels down the electron transport system. Along the way, more proton is pumped into the thylakoid compartment. तो इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसफर होता रहता है, और इसी ये देखो फोटोसिस्टम 2 से ही वो प्लास्टोक्विनोन में आके वो इलेक्ट्रॉन इधर गया था यहाँ पे, ओवर हियर. ऑलराइट, सो दैट इज द रोल ओवर हियर. यहाँ से इलेक्ट्रॉन जा रहे हैं, 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन इधर से ही जा रहे हैं. नाउ more H plus is pumped into the thylakoid compartment by splitting of water into the proton. Okay. Splitting of water and releasing oxygen. Meanwhile, the photosystem's lost electron is replenished by photolysis or the splitting of water to form H plus and O2, and note that H plus is kept inside the thylakoid membrane. तो ये जो H plus है ये thylakoid membrane के अंदर ही रहता है. Okay, and ये जो oxygen है, this is going to be eliminated, and this is the source of all the oxygen in our atmosphere. How beautiful. So what is the source of oxygen in our atmosphere? Photosystem 2, which absorbs at 680 nanometer. How nice. Alright, so chalo, photosystem 1 is clear, photosystem 2 is clear. It is going to split water, produce oxygen and proton, and give 2 electrons for reduction of CO2. Alright. Now what is the Kelvin cycle? ये भी देख लेते हैं. What is the Kelvin cycle? So what we are doing is from the atmosphere 3 molecules of CO2 are taken. Fine. पहले stage पे क्या होगा? Carbon fixation. So what is carbon fixation? कन्वर्शन ऑफ 3 molecules of CO2 into this molecule. ये molecule क्या है? It's a carboxylate group, then CHOH, then CH2OP. मतलब it's not a proper molecule at this point. ये क्या हो सकता है guys? If you look at at carbohydrate point of view, तो ये क्या है? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 carbons which are present, and one is carboxylate. So this is like a smaller version of the acid, gluconic acid or something. लेकिन यहाँ पे सिर्फ 3 ही कार्बन है. So what is this? This is like glyceric acid or something. But yeah, it's just the carboxylate salt. और H भी नहीं है. This is a phosphorus or phosphate connected. Okay. So we don't actually have a name for this. इसलिए हम इसको क्या बोलते हैं? 3PGA. We call it 3PGA. Okay. Now, taking more energy, second step में होगा reduction. So what is this 3PGA doing? It is going to get reduced. CO minus got reduced to CHO. CH2H तो पहले ही था, ये भी same है. So 3PGA got converted to G3P. This is another code, and it uses 6 moles of NADPH to convert into 6 NADP positive and 6 phosphate ion. Alright, so अगर हम इसको naturally देखें तो हाँ यहाँ से यहीं तो जा रहा है खाली, but biologically you have to go like this because 6 ATP are required, 6 NADPH are required. Okay, so that is important. Who is providing this? Photosystem 1 and 2. Now, once the G3P is formed, one molecule G3P is eliminated, which is actually half of the molecule of glucose, isn't it? देखो 1, 2, 3 3 कार्बन है, तो अगर ऐसे ही 6 मॉलिक्यूल निकल जाएंगे तो 3 ग्लूकोज बन सकते हैं. Now 5 molecules of G3P is going to again move into this cycle. Alright, one molecule of G3P is actually eliminated out of this cycle and 5 molecules move onward. Now eliminating 2 of the phosphate, 2 phosphate यहाँ से हटा देगा, 5 मॉलिक्यूल में से 3 phosphate बचेगा जो कि ATP को फिर से ADP में कन्वर्ट करके फिर से एनर्जी लेके it is going to give you 3 molecules of this. Why do you require phosphate still? Because यहाँ पे दोनों सेंटर पे phosphate connected है. Okay, what is this? 3 molecules of RUBP. This is another name, just code, but you can see very clearly this is going to be like a fructose something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. अच्छा ठीक है, अभी ये क्या है? This is a 5-member ring which is again going to take one CO2 and again go through that cycle and again form a bigger molecule, eliminating glucose. So regeneration of the starting molecule right over here. यही केल्विन साइकिल है गाइज. यहीं से आपके जो भी कार्बोहाइड्रेट मॉलिक्यूल्स मिलते हैं वो इसी साइकिल से ही जनरेट होते हैं. So half molecule of glucose can combine together to form glucose through another cycle maybe. This is how the Kelvin cycle is processing, and we need all the electrons, all the NADPH for the Kelvin cycle. So photosystem 1, which actually provides the electrons and the energy, and photosystem 2, which provides, photosystem 1 provides the NADPH and photosystem 2 that provides oxygen, that provides H plus, that provides electrons, that are all going to be used in the Kelvin cycle. Alright guys, so we have discussed the nitrogen fixation, we have discussed the photosynthesis in very brief. Now we are going to move onwards and understand the importance of metals biologically. So first of all, we are going to see that what are the important metals and how can we classify based on their importance biologically. After that, we see what are their functions, and finally we will see that what are the metals which are used in medicine as a treatment. Okay, तो चलो देखते हैं classification of elements according to their action in the biological system. So these are the elements. We have essential, we have trace, non-essential and toxic. So essential elements में आता है oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus. These are the non-metals. Then there is sodium, potassium and magnesium metals, chlorine non-metal, calcium metal, sulfur non-metal. ये बिल्कुल सबसे ज़्यादा essential है. Then comes trace. These are also essential but they are present in a very less amount. Iodine, iron, copper, zinc, manganese, cobalt, molybdenum. essential but trace. Okay, non-essential जिनकी जरूरत ही नहीं है, not necessary. Aluminium, strontium, barium, tin, these are not necessary. And toxic कि ये जरूरी भी नहीं है, and if they are introduced into the body there is going to be a definitely a toxic effect and some symptoms. Heavy metals like cadmium, lead, mercury, these are what all heavy metal. और ये क्या करते हैं? They cause heavy metal poisoning. These are toxic, definitely not required. Non-essential are also not required. So there is a very simple graph. ये हर book में होता है, हर bio inorganic book में होता है. If you see this graph, that what happens is the graph actually plots the physiological response of the concentration or dose of any metal, or let's say of any element in our body. So effect of concentration of elements in our body. So there is a optimal concentration जितनी हमें चाहिए, उससे ज्यादा होने से प्रॉब्लम है, उससे कम होने से प्रॉब्लम है. So what happens is, let's say ये जो ग्राफ है, this part of the graph is actually the state of health. कि इतने से इतने रेंज में this the body of a human being is going to be very good if the concentration of any element, all right, is in between this is the state of health. all right, लेकिन इससे इधर चला गया, मतलब deficiency symptoms में आने से it is going to be really bad, and if it is like too much deficient, this part may cause death. Similarly, if it is higher than this, तो वो toxic हो जाएगा, ज़्यादा भी toxic होता है, right? And if it is like too much toxic, this is again going to cause death because excess of any element is not required. So these are the negative effects, and जितना ऊपर जाएंगे उतना positive effect है. Physiological response is going to be the best. This is the state of health. This is going to be the best over here. Alright, so this applies to every element. किसी भी element का कम भी नहीं होना चाहिए, बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. कम होने से deficiency symptom आएंगे, ज़्यादा होने से toxic effect आएगा. Okay, these are the basic things. Now, what are the metals which are frequently used in medicine? Let's also see that. You might have heard about them a lot of time. Cisplatin आपने सबने सुना है, is used for the treatment of testicular cancer. Butadiene are used in the treatment of cancer. Iron in the form of ferrous sulfate or ferrous gluconate are used in the treatment of iron deficiency anemia. Abhi iron ascorbate, iron citrate, all of these are also used for the treatment of anemia because this Fe2 plus form, when it is actually connected to an organic part, is absorbed easily. Alright. Lithium plus in the form of lithium carbonate is used for the treatment of depression and hypertension. Antimony 3 plus salts are used in eczema, inflammatory condition of the skin. So actually antimony itself is a poisoning element but is used in the treatment of eczema because that is how it works, right? It's suited best. Bismuth 3 plus salts or bismuth subsalicylate actually are used in the gastric ulcer. Barium sulfate is used in radiography. Gadolinium 3 plus is used in the NMR. Silver sulfadiazine is used to treat and prevent bacterial or fungal infection of the skin. So आपने बहुत बार देखा होगा आयोडीन ऑइंटमेंट प्रोवाइड होती है जब भी कट लग जाता है या कुछ भी, उससे भी ज्यादा पावरफुल आयोडीन ऑइंटमेंट से भी ज्यादा पावरफुल आती है सिल्वर सल्फाडाइजीन. आई हैव सीन दिस प्लेंटी ऑफ टाइम्स. इज टू यूज टू ट्रीट and prevent bacterial or fungal infection of the skin, so the wounds are treated better. Selenium sulfide used to treat seborrheic dermatitis and tinea versicolor. So dermatitis is again the disorder of the skin. It is used for treating that. Molybdenum sulfide, MoSO2 minus. All right, tetrathiomolybdate is used as anti-copper agent. What is an anti-copper agent? आपको सबको पता होता है विल्सन डिजीज के बारे में. विल्सन डिजीज is actually where excess of copper accumulation takes place in the liver और विल्सन डिजीज जिसको होता है ना, उसकी जो आईज होती है, उसकी आईज के ऊपर एक रिंग जम जाती है एकदम से ब्राउन कलर की. अराउंड द कॉर्निया ऑफ द आई यू विल सी अ ब्राउन रिंग. All right, somebody who has a Wilson's disease, that means excess of copper accumulation in the liver. This is a genetic disorder, okay? So this is used as an anti-copper agent, also used as an anti-tumor agent. All right, and guys, this is not the only thing. बहुत सारे metals बहुत तरीके से use होते हैं. I've just given you a brief info. There's a whole lot of science in medicine also. We are not going into that. We are just looking at the basic things right now. ठीक है, अब आगे चलते हैं थोड़ा सा. This table also you will get in any other book. This is telling you the distribution of elements in the Earth's crust and human body, and you will see the difference, how it is different. See, the organisms uptake elements in different forms from the earth crust and the surrounding atmosphere. However, it is evident from the following table that there is rather a weak correlation between the distribution of various elements in the earth to that in the biological system. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि अर्थ क्रस्ट में बहुत एल्यूमिनियम मिलता है तो हमारे बॉडी में भी बहुत एल्यूमिनियम होगा. नॉट नेसेसरी. So Earth's crust, you see, oxygen is maximum 47%. Here also oxygen is maximum 63%. But in the Earth's crust, silicon second maximum, carbon second maximum in our body. Aluminium third maximum. Aluminium तो है ही नहीं. It's a non-essential element. Hydrogen. Iron 4.5. Here iron is very less. Trace element. Calcium 3.5. So calcium is also important. Sodium, potassium are very high, but in this system it's going to be like very less as compared to the others. तो ये जो अर्थ क्रस्ट में कम है, those elements are required in our system because they have some duties which they don't have in the earth's crust but have in our body. So it is not necessary that both of these are going to be the same. Depends on the function. Now inorganic elements and their biological function. अब देखो कुछ हम फिर से एग्जांपल लेते हैं. See, we have like completed studying everything. So now we know everything ki which metal is required in which metalloenzyme or metalloprotein. We know that now. So let's revise. This is kind of revision. Inorganic elements, especially the metal, play important role in biological system. Based on the relative concentration in biological system, metal are divided into bulk metals. सोडियम, पोटेशियम, मैग्नीशियम, कैल्शियम, ये होते हैं बल्क और एसेंशियल मेटल. फिर आते हैं ट्रेस मेटल. जिंक, आयरन, कोबाल्ट, निकल, कॉपर, मोलिब्डेनम, वेनाडियम, etc. They are present, they are essential, but they are present in low concentration and they are used for biocatalysts. You know already that. In these tables, just go through these tables and just make notes of these tables. You will not have to search for this kind of content again and again. Just make notes. So sodium and potassium are used as electrolytes in our body. They maintain the concentration gradient in the living cell. क्योंकि हमने देखा है osmotic balance बना के रखते हैं sodium potassium pump से. You have already studied that in your basic classes, or let's say in BSc. Also helps in active and passive transport. They are also charge carriers. Okay. Next is magnesium. They are present in chlorophyll and helps in photosynthesis. Chlorophyll के structure में magnesium होता है. In energy production, ATP to ADP. Activation of enzymes acts as a cofactor. Information carrier present in the endo and the exoskeleton. तो endo और exoskeleton क्या है आपको थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा. Exoskeleton is the skin, the nails, the hair, all that, and endoskeleton is the bones, muscles, all those things. Okay. Now calcium 2 plus is again charge carrier in muscle and nerve function, cell signaling, very important. Acts as a second messenger and sentinel at the synapse. Present in teeth as the hydroxyapatite. ये इसका फॉर्मूला वैसे तो नहीं पूछा जाता है, but just in case, just remember it's present as calcium phosphate, known as hydroxyapatite. Calcium carbonate present in endo and exoskeletons again. Activation of enzyme blood coagulation. So There are many important roles of calcium, even these are few of them. Trace metal पे आते हैं. Zinc 2 plus, hydrolytic enzyme, you have already seen those. Carboxypeptidase, carbonic anhydrase, liver alcohol dehydrogenase, so many. Metal storage, metallothionein, okay, metal storage में भी zinc रहता है. Zinc finger proteins, which actually useful for genetic transcription or stabilization of the proteins. Okay, copper 1 plus or 2 plus, electron transport used in the uh, type 1, type 2, type 3 copper proteins. Transport and storage of dioxygen, hemocyanin, you already know that. Iron 2 plus or 3 plus, again electron transfer used in the cytochromes as well as the ferredoxin. Transport and storage of dioxygen, hemoglobin, myoglobin, hemerythrin. Fe3O4 is used to store iron as it is magnetic, is used by magnetotactic bacteria to sense the direction of the Earth's magnetic field. Even this bacteria can tell the magnetic field of the Earth. All right. Conversion of nitrogen to ammonia, nitrogen fixation. So again in the P cluster. All right. So this was kind of good revision. आगे चलते हैं. Cobalt 3 plus is present in cobalamin, that is vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 के काफी सारे questions आते हैं एग्जाम में. It is actually working as a coenzyme. जितने भी vitamins होते हैं ना guys, what are the roles of the vitamins? They are not themselves doing something. They are actually attaching to some molecule which is a very necessary part of that molecule, which now becomes a proper enzyme, and then the enzyme is going to do its function. So it is a cofactor or a coenzyme. You can say it's a coenzyme. All the kinds of vitamins. Okay, so that's why they are necessary by the system to do proper work. तो अब देखते हैं, हम आगे चलते हैं. मैंगनीज 2, 3, 4, so many different oxidation states used in electron transfer in the photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, generation of dioxygen by splitting water, मतलब किसमें present है? photosystem 2 में present है. It is the part of oxygen evolving complex in photosystem 2, the 681. Just remember this, okay? Manganese is present in photosystem 2. Nickel 1, 2, 3 used in electron transfer. हाइड्रोजनेज एंड हाइड्रोलेसिस, यूरिएज, ये एक एग्जाम्पल है एंजाइम का. तो ये भी एंजाइम में प्रेजेंट होता है. नॉट इन अवर सिस्टम बट इन द अदर बायोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस लाइक बैक्टीरिया एंड सो ऑन. Electron transferring agents, molybdenum in the nitrogenase, vanadium also, conversion of nitrogen to ammonia. So many places you will see, जैसे हमने nitrogenase enzyme में P cluster M cluster देखा. So in place of molybdenum, many places you will see vanadium is also present. Okay. Now, in the term of abundance in the human body, zinc is the most important trace element after iron. Zinc is present in all of these enzymes as we have already studied, और इसलिए ये iron के बाद सबसे ज़्यादा present होता है. Now, non-metal. Phosphorus P5 positive found in the hydroxyapatite at the maximum oxidation state. ATP, cell membrane, DNA. Everywhere you will see phosphorus. Selenium present in the selenocysteine. Fluoride present as fluorapatite in the teeth. Cl minus, most important free anion besides the HCO3 minus for maintaining the pH of our body. And yeah, definitely many different works which I don't know about. I minus, functioning of hormones of the thyroid in the radiation therapy. This is very important. थायराइड के फंक्शन के लिए आयोडीन बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है, बट इट्स अ मिथ कि आयोडीन आयोडाइज्ड नमक आपको खाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. बट you will see that you actually don't consume a lot of iodine in the namak as you consume in the food. So just take the iodine in the food, not in the form of a salt. Alright, there are iodine rich foods which you can search for if anybody is suffering from thyroid and so on. Alright, so yeah, let's move onwards. Here comes the most important thing, the chelation therapy. Or here, I'm discussing two or three important, categories where the, many different difficult kind of, ligands are being taken, coordinated with the metal and used as medicine. तो ये वाला जो section है, ये मैंने कहाँ से लिया है? ये मैंने श्रीवर एटकिंस से लिया है. And there are many such examples. And you know what's the best thing? This section, questions have been asked directly in the exam. I'll show you one. Chalo. The chelation therapy, the treatment of iron overload, involves sequestration of iron by ligands based on based on or inspired by siderophore. अभी आपको पता है what is a siderophore? Siderophores are simple molecules which are like ligands only. They are going to catch the iron or any other metal. तो जो आयरन एक्सेस हो जाता है हमारे बॉडी में, दैट रिक्वायर्स किलेशन थेरेपी. दैट iron being chelated and carried away and thrown out in the urine. So desferrioxamine, desferril, this molecule, this is a big ligand that is similar to the siderophores and is a very successful agent for iron overload removal through an intravenous supply. तो ये कंपाउंड है, ये क्या करता है, आयरन को Fe2+3+ फॉर्म में ये निकाल लेता है थ्रू किलेशन थेरेपी एंड रिमूव फ्रॉम द सिस्टम. ओके, second example, as you can see, big molecule over here, there are so many oxides which are, I'll not say oxide, these are what catechols, क्योंकि ये बेंजीन के ऊपर दो ऑक्सीजन लगा है, so this is catechol type system. Yes, for the treatment of individuals who have been contaminated by plutonium following exposure to nuclear weapons, siderophore like chelating agents having this kind of a ligand having catechols, having 4 catechol groups, they can very easily take up this metal in the 2+ as well as 3+ oxidation state and remove the excess of it. All right, तो ये है काफी effective medicine. Again, this is the chelation therapy. Second important therapy or treatment that we see is a cancer treatment. Again, I've taken it from the same book and you will see that these 3 molecules, ये तीनों molecule आपके एग्जाम में आ चुके हैं and these are taken from the book itself. So you have heard about cisplatin a lot. Cisplatin results in the inhibition of DNA replication. That is how it stops the cancer. And prevention of cell division of the cancer. इसीलिए ये कैंसर को स्टॉप करता है, क्योंकि ये क्या होता है, both of the chlorines are actually going to be hydrolyzed and they are going to be converted into OH2 like this. Then they are going to connect to the N7 position of guanine. N7 position of the guanine base in the DNA and stop the DNA replication. वहीं से चेन को ब्रेक कर देगा, तो कैंसर सेल DNA replication नहीं होने देगा. A similar to cisplatin, we also have carboplatin where the structure is a little bit different. Okay, already oxygens are present. Then we have satraplatin. ये आपके एग्जाम में आ चुका है. Okay, already. What is different over here? एक अमीन है, दूसरा organic amine है. Then you have the carboxylic group. This platinum is now octahedral. Okay, here it was like square planar. Now there are many ruthenium based compounds which are being used for cancer treatment. These two are one of those. तो गाइज रैंडमली भी नहीं उठाते हैं CSI नेट वाले, वो भी किताब से या कोई एक रेफरेंस जगह से ही उठाते हैं. सो दीज बोथ ऑल दीज एग्जांपल्स आर प्रेजेंट इन योर बुक्स. जस्ट गो थ्रू देम. ओके, ऑलराइट गाइज. सो ये थोड़े से एग्जाम्पल थे जो मैंने आपको शेयर करे. यू कैन गो थ्रू द बुक एंड स्टडी मोर एंड डेफिनेटली यू कैन स्टडी एज मच एज यू वांट बिकॉज दिस इज अ टॉपिक विच इज रिलेटेड टू लाइफ. ओके, तो जितना पढ़ो उतना ही कम है. I will see you all in another session where we are doing a detailed practice of all the topics. Okay, so see you all. Have a nice day.